not everyone's gonna be as happy for you as you are for yourself. Yeah. So I had to learn and deal with that. Like, why aren't people happy for me? And it's like, actually, you're in a sport that's individual. Yeah. They're not gonna be happy, and that's okay. But the fact that your casual fan or your casual person on Twitter has that opinion, like, it makes you think this is what people think of track. And that's the bit that's
and then after not seeing that crowd at it as well,
exactly.
You must think.
It's the crowd, it's the Diamond League events coming out, it's the disrespectful football comparisons, it's the mismanagement and infrastructures of federations, it's all this stuff, and you're like, even nationally, domestically, I feel like we're sort of getting into that phase where like we're pushing the chips towards a few people to carry the federation. If something happens to them, God forbid they get injured or they're not around no more, and what's next? I just feel like we need to move everyone.
It's like, we'll push some
together,
and then
leave the rest,
and we'll leave the rest for now.
And it's like,
until they
you've got to move the whole system up, and that's how we become bigger, better. There's so much room for improvement. Like, I've done this already. Right. I can do way more. And that's the things that keep me ticking. And like keeps me wanting to get after the fine details and just be amongst the greats. I think once you're top 8, then I can feel like, okay, welcome to the Pop Smoke, like welcome to the party, innit?
Welcome back to another episode of Athletics Productionz. Happy New Year. Guess what? Last year we had 2019 first person. Guess who it was? OJIE. We've got him again. First person 2020. It's been a good year for him, I'm guessing. Because like he won the British Champ. So I'm guessing that was a good feeling for you, considering what you said on the previous podcast. If you haven't seen that podcast, Episode 1, go and give it a watch. And we've got OJIE again with us today. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah, it's been a while since we've spoken, so yeah, a lot of what we spoke about kind of came to fruition, which is good. So maybe I need to make it
the same again,
good luck charm. Talk about things for the year and then hopefully try and do them.
Man, beginning of the year we'll set you up nice. You know what? Next year what we'll do? We'll bring you on the 1st of January, and then we'll set you up for the rest of the indoor season.
Resolution on the podcast, like talk about all my goals and then come back a year later. And then hopefully I got there.
It's a good thing, isn't it? Set your targets on the podcast. There's proof there. No one can add to you out there, innit?
That's true. Exactly.
So, like we said, last year was a fair, decent year.
Yeah.
Made world champs. Start from there. How did it go for you?
World champs was a good experience. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I've been to senior champs before for relay, so it's a whole different situation. So yeah, Worlds was. Do you know what? Worlds was a good experience, but for me, I don't think it went as good as it should have.
Yeah.
Like I think off the back of trials, like there's one thing leading up to win.
Yeah.
There's another thing, what do you do once you've won? And that was something that I didn't have preparation for. So a lot of the time you think if something's negative, it can tire you out. But actually, I think positive things can have the same effect on you. It can tire you out. So that was the first time ever in my athletics career where my phone didn't stop for about 5 days straight, after trials. Like, I think just because maybe people didn't expect me to win, the fashion in which it happened, like the emotion, everything. Yeah. My phone did not stop for about 5 days straight.
Being such a close race,
and the way it was dramatic. So, and I'm not a snob. So if you message me, anyone messages me, for the most part, I will reply back to it. If you call me, I'll pick up the phone. So I entertain every single congratulations. Because end of the day, like I was grateful for it. So I took all of it in, took everything, interviews, this, that, boom. By the time it got back to me training, I was just neurally drained. Yeah, and then my body was just not on point. Going into my race before Worlds, like my back was messed up. Like everything was just off. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it was just such a come down afterwards. I just didn't get back into routine quick enough. And then I think once I got to Worlds, I was sort of playing catch up with my body more so we couldn't really get enough workouts in and whatnot.
And obviously being so late in the season as well,
in the year was already something to deal with. And I kind of felt like we were gonna get it right, but I think once I got to the champs, I think the excitement from trials, I think, had just burnt me out.
Yeah.
And once I got to Worlds, like to be honest, once I got there and I'd seen, okay, I'm in a way a leading man because I'm the British champ coming in.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, okay, we're here now. Seeing the competitors, seeing the track, everything. I'm like, cool. Once I got to the heat, then I got dusted in the heat. I was like, you're at the world champs, mate. Like, I was like, it's about to get real. So, you see. So from then I knew, it wasn't really gonna go how I wanted it to go. But I was still grateful to be there. I was still grateful for the fact that I could say I think I finished like 20th or 21st overall. Like that's big. I've never been individual before, so that's still a big achievement in that sense. But I think when you, especially in our climate now, I genuinely believe if you win the British champs, the quality you would take to have won, you will have probably that same quality to go on and push for a final at the world stage. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely believe that now with the talent we've got. So I kind of expected more, but it didn't happen. But it was okay because I think most of the year went well, if that makes sense. So I didn't beat myself up too much, but being a competitor, I was disappointed that I didn't get a chance to at least run close to what I'd done throughout the year. Yeah. If I'd done that and then I still missed out, I would have been okay. But I think because I was a bit off on my times as well, I think that was a bit more disappointing. And
it's quite interesting you mentioned, after you've achieved what you sort of set out to achieve, and the way you reacted to it, because yes, no one prepares you for that.
Oh no,
no. Everyone just was, we've got this target, if you get it, but no one tells you what to do after.
No one tells you.
And you sort of have to find your own way through it. So, pecs to you for, still going to the Worlds and being so far out as well. Yeah. First individual, you will get affected in some kind of way, which you did. Yeah. And you just got to learn from it, innit?
No, 100%. This is what experience is for. Do you know what I mean? You can't buy experience. You have to just get in the trenches and just learn. So now coming into this season, it's like my view on the year is different now. Like because I've been there now and I'm like, okay, cool. When it comes to this point of the year, I know how I'm gonna move. When it gets to the Olympics, hopefully, I know how I'm gonna move. So it's just things to learn from, really.
When you get to a champs, like when you got to your first world champs as an individual, being British champ, like how much weight did that kind of hold, like for you personally, and then just around like all the other athletes as well? Because obviously you've seen some of these guys on TV, you've competed with some of these guys over the last few years. Some of them are in the junior ranks with you as well.
Yeah.
But now coming in British champ, you're not just here for a relay. They know that, you know that.
Yeah.
Does it kind of change the people's perspective of you, and is it noticeable?
It definitely changes it. I think you get more respect from your peers. I feel, even if they don't want to admit it, they sort of have to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So in that sense, it was like, I'm not really looking at me like a small boy no more. It's like, he's here to run. So that was different to get used to. I was sort of used to being in the background, just letting people sort of be in the light a bit more, but people sort of coming to me a bit more to have conversations and to help me up a bit more. So that was a bit different. There's people who sort of are doubting you. Yeah. Like, ain't really a champion. So
they'll always be, they'll always be that, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Like in your face as well, or kind of like Chinese whispers kind of thing.
I'm not anyone massive, but no one even, I don't know what level, I don't think it matters what level you are in life. I don't think most people will come to your face
to say that.
Just, like, not because of me, I just think in general, no one's really gonna do that. So, but you feel that vibe, you hear little things here and there, and it's like, I think there was a lot of like, he won, but some people had a bad day. That kind of vibe, you get that. So I had to deal with that. I was upset about that sometimes. So I had to deal with balancing, not feeding into the emotion of that and just trying to stay focused on what the task was. I think with other countries, it was just like, like some man are just, you know it is. It's not even a word. You're just that nod, like, I see you, like, I know you're here. Just little things like that. You're thinking, okay, cool. All right. And it's just little things that people's interactions with you just change. Obviously, like media, there's more media obligations.
Yeah, and, you get announced, you get
announced a bit more, people want to chat to you, that kind of stuff. But it sounds all small what I'm saying, but they all add up. Imagine you have all those 5 things I probably said, they all come to you at certain points in the day. You could finish the day quite tired and quite annoyed or just feeling weird with your emotions. So that was something to deal with 100%. And it taught me that it doesn't matter what you do, people are always gonna have something to say about it. So not everyone's gonna be as happy for you as you are for yourself. Yeah. So I had to learn and deal with that. Like, why aren't people happy for me? And it's like, actually, you're in a sport that's individual. Yeah. They're not gonna be happy, and that's okay.
It's like the same year both at the false start.
Yeah.
Everyone sort of thought, oh, whoever won that race didn't deserve it. Because
Yeah,
obviously it was
like
out.
Blake Carr had that chip on his shoulder. And
at the end of the day, they were all on the line. And that person won it.
Exactly.
If you mess up, you mess up. It's 100 meters.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it.
There's no space to make a mistake. And, you know, if they didn't wake up, that's their fault.
That's their fault, exactly. But
like,
it's crazy. You'd like to think that. And I think, sort of outside looking in, that's what it really is. But internally, it's interesting. It's interesting. People's energies change in a way.
Yeah, well, that links on to like the current indoor season.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of the big names haven't done any of the champs really.
Yeah, obviously it got called off as well, so that was...
Yeah, a lot, like, so what's that been like for you? Like, what have you prepared for this indoor season?
Oh, for me, I started training in November. So it was the latest I've ever come back.
Yeah, that's
and I targeted 2 races indoors. Just to work on technical stuff and sort of put myself in a stressful environment and just see how well my technique holds up, basically.
Yeah.
So first race was okay. For me, it was good because I think there's an art to trying to run a 60 like 100. Yeah. Very difficult, but I think if you nail that, you set yourself up for the summer pretty well, in my opinion. Obviously, some people need to go guns to take to 60. Everyone's got different ways, but for me, that was my way of sort of looking at it. Especially knowing that I probably would have done about maybe 9 weeks, 10 weeks worth of training. So I was like, I may run really quick, but if I don't really mind because I'm not preparing for this. So that was good. But second race was not too good. I had a bit of a niggle. So
was this in Ireland?
That was in Madrid. So that was like not too good. But other than that, like just back into training now. Outdoor season's gonna start soon. But I'm happy with where things are at. Like literally, I think this time last year, where training's at, it's like a million times better because I'm sort of like carrying over what I did from last season in the summer. So like, it's not really taking me that long to sort of get into my rhythm and find my feet. So it's sort of been like, we've sort of got to try and manage it a bit because it's like sort of getting a bit quick too soon. So I'm like, whoa, okay, we've got good reserve to play with, but let's just make sure that we refine things and things are in a good position for the summer. So with this indoors, I wasn't really looking at it seriously. When I heard World Indoors was called off, I was a little bit happy, I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't feel guilty or have a second, like a regret about whether to do the champs or not, because now there's no champs. So I was like, okay, all right, fine. But what I would say with this indoors, I've had a lot of people spoke to me about it, and I do think that a lot of people were like not doing it and fobbing it off. And I honestly think that, you know, if you haven't got a title, if you've never made a final, if you've never really stepped up before, it would have been a great opportunity for people to go to British champs, people to still run a solid indoors, because even if someone's not there, that could be your opportunity to get a platform to do something big in the future. So I feel like people are too quick to sort of be like, no one's going to the champs, don't care about it. Yeah. But if you haven't done something yet, like you should be looking at it as an opportunity, because the medals are still the same. They still,
the British
the medals are the medals, the finals are the finals.
Get gold next to your name on Power 10.
It's still an art to being in a final 8. There's still an art to getting on the podium, regardless of who's there. So when I heard, because obviously athletes talking, you sort of hear the buzz, and it's like, people were like kind of brushing it off. And I understand if you're like part of the top tier guys not wanting to do, because it's a big year. We've got to focus on trying to get to the Olympics. But if you're sort of young coming up, I'll not say young to be patronizing, but if you're like coming up, I feel like, mate, if that was me, I would have gone to Glasgow. I would have been pushing for champs if I hadn't done it before.
Yeah. Under 23s.
Yeah, I would have been 100% pushing because you have to grab opportunities.
Some of the under 20s were.
And then that was the same weekend.
Yeah, wasn't it? Same, because I wasn't that. And
I think that was annoying as well. Like people, they needed to communicate a bit more. So youngsters could have the chance to go.
I think it's always like that.
Is it actually?
I think this is not the first time it's happened. I think it tends to either be the week before or on the same weekend. Because
I think they're usually a week apart.
Because box is the week before.
Yeah.
Box is usually the same weekend as trials, I think.
Oh, is
I think so.
See.
Yeah, so you've always got a tough choice.
When I was a junior, I had always had the opportunity to go to seniors and then go to my champs after. That was always how it was. My champs was like last.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to do that circuit a few times. But they should have done that, because I think a lot of youngsters could have benefited from stepping up to the senior stuff.
just to kind of get a feel, because like,
yeah, why not?
Especially when you're running, 6'7", and your next closest competitors is like maybe a 6'8", 9.
Yeah,
some of those
like,
juniors were
sometimes you
running, running some quick times.
That senior's running 6'6", and I'm gonna have to
rub shoulders.
run out. Like,
do you know what I mean? I always, when I was younger, I always benefited from having that challenge of I'm a youngster. Let me see what I can do with the seniors. That really helped elevate my performance. And then when I got to my age group, I was just like, well, I'm tried and tested with the big guys, so this ain't gonna be a big problem for me. That's how. And
it helps psychologically to some level. Obviously, not everyone works that way, but psychologically, it does help you, because if you're in that atmosphere, there's no stress. Like you're here with some Donnies that's like 30.
Yeah.
No stress. Like just
even that dynamic can be stressful. But when I was in my old training group and everyone was mad older than me, that was my big advantage I think I had over my whole age group, because I was rubbing shoulders with the senior lot. And then like dust getting brushed up, getting roughed about. But when I came to my age group, it was just like I was used to operating at a different level. So when I raced the people that are my age, it was like I did not care.
Y'all are good, but
that's a good benefit, but in moderation. Obviously, you don't want to crush your confidence, but in everything in moderation.
Overtraining with adults, yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It's a good level of balance, yeah. So, how did you feel when you heard the announcement of the world champs, or what was the reaction among like the big boys
for the world indoors?
For the world indoors, yeah.
Do you know what? I didn't hear that a lot of the main guys were trying to do it anyway. Obviously, you have your usual 60-meter guys that are going to go for champs, but out of the guys who are outside of that bubble, I didn't really hear a lot of people talking about world indoors anyway.
Yeah.
Because not people who were in Doha anyway. I think if people didn't go to Doha, I'd understand wanting to go to world indoors, because obviously you're back into normal routine. But I think those who probably would have come back to training in November, I think it would have been quite hard to turn around and get back into a quick speed block like so soon. I don't know. So it wasn't really
Olympic year as well.
I think because it's an Olympic year, it's just every champs that's around the Olympics is not really going to feel as important. Everyone, you know what I mean? And it's still a great European championships after.
I was literally just about to say, but you guys have got Europeans as well. So is it going to be a case of like, for you as an athlete, are you going to try go Olympics, see how you do there, and then go Europeans?
100%.
Or is there going to be a block where they say, well, no, if you went here, we're not going to...
Well, I don't know what
push you to do this.
You know, the thing is with me, I don't really read selection policies anymore, because I think just come top 2. I don't read it anymore. But the title of the champs is Olympics and European trials, isn't it? So I've heard that it's basically the guys who qualify there are basically qualifying for the Europeans and the Olympics, and then maybe they will have the opportunity to say no,
and
then that will give the place to someone else, I think.
Yeah.
But me personally, qualify for Olympic, I want to go to both. Me personally, I want to go to both champs, because I'm not a European senior champion, innit? I'm not a European outdoor finalist. So I still have things I want to achieve. So I'm not in a position yet to, like, I never really understand the whole snobbing of champs if you haven't done something there yet, or if you haven't surpassed that level.
Yeah.
So if I was like a world finalist, maybe I would think a bit less of it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's still positives in going to championships and picking up silverware. So that's my goal. If, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. I want to be at championships. Like the great people, well, Linford's the greatest that we've ever had, and he won everything, innit?
Yeah.
So
went to everything.
That's where
he went to everything. And did
you
everything.
can't just break the British record. I don't think to be the greatest Brit. It's championships as well. So
it all adds up.
It all adds up. So I'm like, I'm on a championship thing. Like, so with the Europeans, we've got a break after that. God willing, I'm fit and qualify. I'm going to the Europeans.
I like what you said there about, well, you could break the British record, but if you don't have the rest of these accolades, you're not the greatest.
Well, this is the thing. So
I like what you said there.
But this is the thing, yeah. Like, for instance, what do you call the best? How do you decide what the best in Britain is? Is it the person with the fastest time? Is it the champion? Is it what someone does at the champs after? Like, what is it? And a lot of people who I've spoken to have got different views. Because some people may say it's the guy who ran the fastest. Some people might say, well, it's the guy who done the best at Worlds. Some people might say it's the guy who wins the British champs. And I'm like, I don't know which one.
Year on year, I think it would be overall champs that year. So Doha was the target. Now, you were British champ. You got to semis. Cool. If the guy who came second to you then made the final,
I think it would have.
Then you kind of.
It's a bit of a.
Then you kind of change it because okay, well he won the British trials, but this guy went one better, and made the final. So I suppose in that sense you say, well, overall he was the better guy. But then
it's a weird one for me.
But you have the title. So.
Yeah, it's like it's so weird. So like some people might say to me, yeah, he's British number one, like about me. And I'm like, yeah, but I feel that, but I don't feel like I'm. I want to create a title for it. Undisputed, I would say. Being in, you've ticked all the boxes. Do you know what I mean? But then someone like Dwayne wasn't always someone who maybe had the fastest time. Like Dwayne has been someone over the years where you look at it, like maybe there was a year in 2009 where Simeon won the champs, but then Dwayne went sub 10, made the final. So I'd say he was British number one, but then he didn't win the champs that year. Or like you get reverse, like different years.
Some people
maybe
use the
Dash
medals.
Dash didn't win the British champs. The year he ran 91. But then went to the Worlds, did well.
You could kind of say undisputed if you've won back-to-back British titles.
Okay, yeah.
You could kind of go down that
in
route.
a way. So it's like, I think that's something that's like, it's not really an explored like avenue. And obviously I never explored it because I wasn't ever a champion in it, so I didn't really care about it. But I think, it's a bit of a weird one.
It's a debate.
It's a good debate.
It's a good debate.
And I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. I don't think there's any right or wrong answer.
I had a conversation yesterday. So one of my friends, he is like football fanatic. So I don't know why these Arsenal men are still holding on to this unbeaten run. Like it was however many years ago. Like certain men that were playing then have definitely retired since then. Blah blah. And then he went on to say it's like saying that Usain Bolt is the fastest man. And I said, well, I mean, if we're looking at the books. His name's at the top. There's no one else that's close to him. Like I'm pretty sure he holds like the first 2 or 3 places. Like if we're talking
of all times,
all time runs, he's holding that.
He might even have like the top 4 times.
Quite possibly. Now, can you really knock him and say that he's not the fastest? He may not. He's not running now. Cool, but the books.
Do you know how I look at it? It's weird. He's like the champion. Yeah, he's the world record holder.
Yeah.
But then someone like Asafa Powell has run sub 10 way more times than him.
So
where does Asafa come into that conversation?
So he would be the greatest in that aspect.
Yeah.
He's the greatest overall.
Maybe he's the most consistent sprinter ever.
Most consistent. So overall, sub 10 times, Asafa Powell's the best that we've seen.
Yeah.
But if we're talking world medals, Olympic medals,
and
Usain Bolt takes that by far.
I also think an element of it is characteristics as well. I feel like to have that GOAT status, it's just sometimes it's a bit more than your accolades as well. Because in other sports, you do get people who have achieved more, but then there's other people who get viewed like in a higher regard. I feel like it's just the general package that you brought to the table. How did your success impact people as well?
And how did you carry yourself?
How did you carry yourself
as well?
Like, all that type of stuff.
Because
it's like the
year Tyson Gay, like the year he won and the year Gatlin won, people have regarded them.
Which year that Gatlin
won? The
won?
last one that Gatlin won, in the World Champs.
Yeah.
People have regarded him as the fastest person.
Yeah.
Or would they have dismissed it? Because Coleman was coming through, Bolt was retiring. What would they have said that year? Because that was a tough year.
Gatlin won.
The
book said
because that year was like Bolt was obviously the greatest. Coleman was clearly the fastest, and then Gatlin won the champs. So
it was 3 different things to work with there.
You know what I mean?
And also in Doha, like everyone kept saying Noah was gonna break the 200 meter.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a.
That was a stretch.
That was so played out.
But I do have respect for that guy. I think he has potential to do it, but I didn't know if it was going to happen in the climate of last season. It was a late season.
It was so late.
That championship was just about winning. So someone like Coleman, going 76 in the last race of the season, at the end of the season, after everything else that had come with it, like I think
he was
got it right still.
You know, with Lyles and Coleman, I think they both have they both have it there to do it. It just depends on the day and obviously their overall fitness at the time.
Well, you got to think about it. A lot of these Diamond League races, there's not really any tailwinds in these races. A lot of it is into like minus winds, zero wind. Like, maybe just give a man a tailwind, man. I think we'll see 9-6.
Just run the other way.
We'll see 9-6 this year, 1,000%.
You think?
Yeah. If he stays injury free.
Coleman or Laos?
No, Coleman.
You think?
Yeah. Laos. No, I think Laos can go 9-7. But I'm an optimist when I come to times because I like to just put the ceiling really high. But I do think we'll see 9-6.
Would any of them double up? Because obviously Coleman.
Americans traditionally they will, innit?
But both of them, that was the first time they won.
If they're fit and healthy.
Because Coleman they did actually both qualify. Then he just pulled out after the one, innit?
Yeah.
With the 200, he just decided not to do it.
Do you know what? Going back to champs, I got to ask you. The atmosphere in the first few days for us watching
it was dead.
Yeah,
it was dead.
So for you competing, what was that like? Because you're kind of like, it's kind of like, well, the 100 is normally like the marquee event of any champs. Yeah. Even like the Olympics, for all the events it has, the 100 meters is the one that people talk about the most.
Of course, yeah.
But in this particular occasion for Worlds, we were seeing like empty stands.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, okay, so two things how it went. So for me, I didn't really care about the crowd because I was so immersed in the fact that I was a competitor in the 100 meters.
Yeah.
So the fire was beside me. I didn't think to look for the fire or the motivation in the crowd. I was thinking, I've got some guys here who are ready to take me out, so I'm in this. So for that, I didn't really feel it too much. But with the crowd was dead. But they came out in numbers for Barshim.
Yeah.
And that was the first championships where it's been more packed for maybe a field event than the sprints.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was down to the logistics of the event. I think that was down to the nation it was in. Yeah. So people knew, I don't know if they knew a lot about track, but they knew Barshim's our hometown boy. Yeah. We're going to come out in full to support him. So for that night, mate, mad. But for 100 meter final, it was okay, but it weren't that good.
Well, like a Lee Valley night.
No, a bit better than Lee Valley night, but it weren't that good, man. It weren't that good. Obviously, I was in the stands watching, and yeah, it was like, obviously they did the whole blackout thing, and that was a vibe.
Sick.
That was a vibe.
That was sick.
That was a vibe.
Would that be nicer? Pick your own song.
Yeah, that'd be cool, but then I think it would be a bit too like how do you go about picking the song like on the top of the spot? They gotta go like find
20
it.
Seconds.
They gotta have swearing in it.
No, because obviously for me, the way I would do that is that, well, there's the semi and the final the same day. Yeah. Or is it?
No, same day.
Same day, right. So that turnaround time is what? Couple hours?
Couple hours, yeah.
So
when everyone goes to ask them what song do you want?
It's 8 people that you need to ask.
Okay, true.
Yo, okay. What song do you want? But it can't have swearing in it.
Okay, true.
We'll filter it.
Like, it can't have swearing. That's the only thing.
I'd be up for that. But then I wonder though if there's like restrictions around that with copyright and
well, it's no different to playing it on radio or playing it in a club. I suppose.
But it's on BBC.
Obviously BBC or ESPN or whatever channel.
They can work out those logistics.
If they work that out, then maybe that could work. But like, I think it's like, do you ever see them meets like indoors with the like, high jump meets where they got their own music playing and that? Like,
yeah.
That's a cool atmosphere that they create for them guys. So I think it would be cool to sort of maybe do that for the sprints.
That's for the sprint, yeah.
I think that whole black and out stuff was good. It was a first small step of making track modern, and I thought that was good. But yeah, the crowd in Doha was
Was it after that or before it when they came out with this triple jump?
The whole like shortening their jumps.
200 meter.
Oh, the Diamond League.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Was it after that they brought all this out, or was it before?
That must have been before.
I think it was just before.
Just before.
Like, that would have impacted a few people. Like,
yeah.
Psychologically, they're going, I've been working hard for these events, and you've just gone turn around. Oh yeah.
And the issue is, it's not like there's mad money. Like, there's not like millions and millions and millions in track as it is.
Yeah.
So you cutting off like something that's someone's main source of income, like that competition setup. I think it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I was shocked the 200 was there, to be fair.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think it's one of the things I was shocked because obviously Niles is on the verge of like breaking the record as well.
People want
to see it.
We can't lie, he probably is the most entertaining sprinter.
Yeah.
Right.
Man came in with his silver hair.
This guy's
so why would you not want
doing backflips
why would you?
For fun.
Very, very confident because I wouldn't even do a moonwalk before a race. I'd be so like, if I do this and I lose, I'm gonna like an idiot.
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
You're gonna be a Twitter meme.
I can't do that. Yeah. Can't do that.
We saw that happening from the Bolt era. Like that's what we call it, the Bolt era.
Yeah.
Like he started it. Couple of years, it was like, oh, why is he doing this? He needs to be more serious.
Then
blah, blah,
you
blah.
just learnt to love it.
And then people loved it. And then the other athletes kind of joined in as well. But
relaxed.
You weren't putting out them performances that this guy's doing. So I don't know. It's I
you
think
know
it's
that meme
fun.
in that
I think it's fun.
It is
I
fun,
like it.
but you know what?
'Cause it shows
I don't think
personality.
everyone can do it. Like
Some people force it.
Don't put pressure.
Some people force
people
it.
force it. Like, don't put pressure on yourself. Like,
Safa done it at one championship, and I was like, "You're not that guy."
this ain't you. This ain't you.
Nothing that I know of you through TV.
Yeah, it doesn't
shows me that
suggest
you're this
that
guy.
you're like that.
Whereas for all the interviews that I've seen with Bolt,
That's how
that
he
guy.
is.
It's like if Tyson
So
done
it's
it,
not now.
It would
if
be
Tyson
weird.
done it, I'd be like, nah.
Everyone's got their own thing, man, and it's like I don't think it's for everyone, but I do think if more eyes are getting drawn to athletics and sprints through Lyles doing whatever he does, I'm all for it. To be honest, anything that's going to bring more revenue, exposure, you know, bigging up track.
Even the triple jump, like people are on the verge of breaking records.
Yeah,
We had a world record the other day.
we had a record.
What was so crazy was that she broke the world record before my heat. And I was on the track, and then we're all on the start line, like mad serious. And then she just hop, skip, bang, world record. And the whole stadium went mad. And it was so hard to concentrate because I was like, okay, got to run this race. But she's just created history. Like, looking, I'm like, oh my days, this is sick. I almost, for a split second, became part of the spectators. Like, hey, well done. Then they're like, on your marks. I'm like, oh, shit. Like,
Let me bring myself back.
That was a new experience, definitely. World records are good to watch on TV, but in real life, they are very off-putting.
Seriously?
Yeah, you can't concentrate because you're thinking, this is sick. But then
you've
got a race.
You're competing,
and you don't want to be
like
like the Scrooge, like, but then you know something great's happening. So it was like, it was weird. That was really weird, yeah.
Like if it's like someone you know as well. I just jumped world record and you're not.
Because I've been watching
me.
her. I really like seeing her jump, and I actually saw her warming up earlier that night. And I don't know, in my head I thought she looks strong. Like she looks like sharp today. Didn't think anything world record wise, but I just thought, yeah, she looks good today. And then obviously, yeah, she did what she did, but off-putting definitely.
Yeah, so them taking those events out, like triple jump is a thing. Like 200 meters is a thing now for athletics. Even the discus, shot put.
These are all getting entertaining now.
There are people that have worked their whole life to sort of get to that level.
Yeah.
World champs, they don't get as much views on TV anyway.
Literally.
And now you're going to take them away from the little diamond leagues, which is an
athletics is just in a really just mad place right now. Like it's just so many things are doing wrong. So many things are doing wrong.
And then like last 2 weeks ago when Erin Ireland ran his 60 from standing run from football, and Twitter went mad, and everyone was, and you know
what? I was guilty of getting caught up in
really?
Yeah. Like, and you know what?
When you say caught up, in a good way or a bad way?
Well, I'll call it a bad way because I don't usually respond to these type of things. Yeah. But I must have been on Twitter and then seeing all these tweets, and I was like, are you dumb? And this was like a few days after Coleman had just missed out on a 60-meter world record.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, are you dumb? Like, you're comparing, and he's a great footballer, don't get me wrong. I think, his football stats, I'm amazed by them. Yeah. Great. Sick. But stop saying that he would have done that in 60. Like, he wouldn't have in it. Like, it's just this much off the world record. Like, this is the problem, yeah. People say it's jovial and it's banter, but the reason why it's not is because every time you discredit or cheapen the achievements of a great in our sport, that makes people disrespect it more and not want to invest in it or want to view it of high regard. If you think, oh, anyone could be a sprinter. Yeah. But not anyone could be a sprinter.
Even
and I think that's the message they send.
Yeah, even the kids. Like, you just think, oh, I might as well play football then.
Oh, yeah, Highland's
doing
faster
it.
than their best one. I think it's disrespectful because I can't turn around and say, I'll make it into Liverpool starting 11 because I can't.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't come on Twitter confidently saying that. I can banter and say that.
Yeah.
But I won't confidently come out and say that, would I?
The me inside of me would be like, okay, so
like, let's get this
let's
on.
get him on. Let's get him
That's what I was
on
saying. I was on Twitter with Nefanil, like, let's get this race sorted out, man, because these guys are just like.
I think we actually need to.
For all these,
put something down. Just
someone needs to put money like the 150 that Michael Johnson did with Donovan.
Yeah,
something like that.
That would be sick.
Just
like,
one of these guys just come down. If you think you're at it, innit?
Pick 5. Pick your top 5 fastest players.
I don't even blame the footballers because they're not out here saying I'm faster. It's the media that are sort of like miseducated and just like putting these stuff out there. And then like you had loads of like, because obviously football is a big sport, you forget sometimes. And I had loads of people like messaging me back like, well, athletics doesn't really take a lot of talent to do. It's more hard work and training. And I'm like, all right, cool. There were some tweets I was seeing and I said, you know what, OJ? You need to just retract this conversation because they're talking rubbish. Like,
that's when I say,
uneducated.
Come down and watch me train.
Literally, come and train me for a day and see that it's not.
Like, it's not.
But the fact that your casual fan or your casual person on Twitter has that opinion, like, it makes you think this is what people think of track. And that's the bit that's
and then after not seeing that crowd at it as well, you must think
it's the crowd, it's the Diamond League events coming out, it's the disrespectful football comparisons, it's the mismanagement and infrastructures of federations, it's all this stuff, and you're like,
and even thinking about
what's going on?
Footballers do train speed. Like, these guys don't just sit there and play football all day. A lot of them have speed coaches.
And you find a lot of track coaches or former track guys are in the football world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a few of them. There's a few of them that do it as a side thing. But
even America, like, can you compare like the American footballers to like some big guy ran for
yeah, I saw that. So the NFL Combine, I was watching that over the weekend, and I think the fastest guy was like 4:24 or something, something like that, or whatever, 40 something. And then it was great that Coleman did the 40-yard dash in 2017, and he like breezed like a 4:1, 4:11, or 4:12, like calm, and that was that good. Show someone the levels that this is what a real sprinter can do, and this is what an NFL guy can do. And I think if there's that comparison in education in like a jovial, fun way, I feel like that is a good way to educate people in the time of social media. Like, have an interactive video that shows you the difference. Get your best, fastest footballer and get an average. You don't even need to get the best sprinter. Get an average sprinter. And
like even I'll do one with that Spanish guy.
But what?
That Spanish guy.
I remember that. Yeah, that was good.
Ronaldo was quick back then as well.
Yeah, Ronaldo was really quick. And that guy was kind of quick today. He wasn't the world's fastest. And he cleared man out.
He left him. But for the agility part, Ronaldo was faster.
Exactly, and you saw the difference.
And there was a clear difference in that. I'm not gonna ask you to go and do some suicide runs and see how fast you can do it. Because
what I took from that video was like there was a clear respect. Like the sprinter respected the agility and quickness in that Ronaldo had, and Ronaldo had to respect how it is to run in a straight line really quick. And I think things like that, sometimes in a while you just got to recycle those things.
Yeah, you need to start doing more of those things, I think, to educate people. That
when people make that comparison, like between certain sports, I'm like, you know what, some certain sports I can kind of like ease off a bit. Like anything that they are comparing America, I'm kind of like, well, the way that their system's set up with their schools and stuff,
of course,
you pretty much
go through everything.
So you have sprinters who are doing American football,
and a lot of them use track as to help their football. So
but
some of them are actually genuinely quick, but football's not like that.
Like, I mean, I think we had this conversation in the first interview. Like when you go to not necessarily county champs, but the school county champs before you go to like English schools and stuff, and you see some of the teams like, so who'd you run for? Nah, man, I just do football. Like my teacher told me to come here. Like, because I'm quick.
There's no like serious infrastructure behind it.
Like, and I'm kind of like, you know, we can give the opportunities here and there, but these men will turn up and like, oh yeah, I'm faster than everyone. All right.
Let's see.
Let's see you up against a track, man, and see what happens. And
I think that's something that, you know, needs to get put together in the near future. Like, I'm sure if you ask any of our sprinters, they'd be up for it.
I did it in college because I was playing football at the time as well, but I was also training for track. And obviously, in school, there's always who is the fastest guy in college. Yeah. And I just sort of like, let's have it, innit? Like, because we have to do our video for just A levels. Okay. So I have to take that video anyway. Sick. I went, you know what, I'm going to use track. So I went, okay, might as well get all the footballers that think they're fast, innit, on the line. It took me 10 meters to dodge these guys, man. I didn't even have to try. you know when you get into a cruise phase and you're just not even trying anymore, and they're going flat out,
cheeks bouncing,
and the gap is just like
yeah, relax.
This is not even like it's not even a race anymore. But acceleration wise, they add some acceleration. Like I had to even keep up with some of them.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
I was only training for like a year at that point.
I just feel there's an art to sprinting, man.
But people, people show some respect, and I think
run and then that's it. Like
the media needs to help this sport because the media is not helping the sport.
Media not helping the sport right
and
now.
And I think
the media have no interest in helping the sport.
Like at what point has athletics been on Sky Sport?
World Cup. The Athletics World Cup 2018.
World Cups.
That was like the one and only time, I think.
But that was after the Olympics that was added in the stadium, isn't it? Yeah. So that was a big time for athletics in the UK.
And no one really like. I remember starting athletics in 2012 in that year of London, and there was this big push on like.
So long ago. So
it was ages ago.
That sounds so strange. To man saying he started athletics in 2012, and I'm like, fast forward 8 years, and he's
crazy, innit?
He's a world. Semi-finalist, top 20 in the world. Like that's crazy.
It was mad, but like I remember it being like, inspiring a new generation. We've got to do a lot of things for sports in schools and da 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 da.
It's always a new thing,
and I haven't really felt that 2012 legacy presence.
Pushed on,
and I feel like we just relied on like Super Saturday to like carry us through. And I feel like there needs to be more than just remembering, like doing a Throwback Thursday. There needs to be more to like push on. To like show these new guys, these are people who your new role models you can look up to. Yeah. They come from similar demographics to you. They come from similar stories, and this is what they're doing. Make track be attractive because not everyone can be a footballer.
Yeah,
not everyone can be a boxer. Not everyone can do all these things. So it's like there's a lane here, and it's like, do you know what I mean? I just feel like there hasn't really been that sort of push afterwards. So for me, like I don't know if I'll ever be like a massive global star in track. If I am, that's great. But if that doesn't happen, at least I want to say, okay, the small community I had to impact, someone learned from my story and said, cool, you know what, I saw that guy, he's from similar area to me, I want to do it. If that's all that ever happened, I'll say, cool, let there be multiple stories like that. And that's how you create a legacy for people to want to follow in your footsteps. Not like just admiring the past, I feel. Because a lot of us weren't even there. So we don't even know what it was like.
I think that kind of is British athletics though.
True.
Like as a whole, a lot of it is, we done this in this year. And it's like, that's great. And we can go look in the books to see that. That's fine. Yeah. But this is where we are right now.
This is the thing.
These are the people that we need to celebrate. Because most of that Super Saturday,
they're gonna retired. Well, Mo's obviously coming back, but
but he'd retired. Yeah, he retired, but we were still on this whole like Super Saturday, and it's great. It's a package that you show to people. Like this is how great British athletics.
I just feel right now, like with the new stars that are coming through, like
push.
We need. Do you know what it is? This is one thing I hate athletics for. I love athletics, but this is one thing I hate it for. I feel we put too much responsibility on Bolt. So though he did, it might be an unpopular opinion, but though he did a lot, I feel like it was like, Bolt's carrying the sport, Bolt, ticket sales about Bolt, everything's about Bolt. Okay, great.
Now he's gone.
Bolt retired. What happened next? Track went back to where it was before he came. Because there wasn't like a contingency plan for when he left. There wasn't like a track is gonna move with Bolt. It was like Bolt was moving and track was the trampoline for him to become what he was becoming. Yeah. And now he's retired. He's living his life. He's not carrying track. Like he doesn't have to, but like he's just doing his thing in it. Yeah, and like track is like boring again. And it's like I'm entertained.
To him.
Yeah, I'm entertained because it's like we don't know who's gonna win, and it's great. Every damn he's got like a different winner. I like that because back in the day it was like you knew if Bolt came, you knew it was a wrap. And that's cool for people who know track, but for people who don't know track, it's like Bolt retired. Who's gonna break his record? No one's breaking it.
Yeah, who's this guy?
And I feel like even nationally, domestically, I feel like we're sort of getting into that phase where like we're pushing the chips towards a few people to carry the federation. If something happens to them, God forbid they get injured or they're not around no more, and what's next? I just feel like we need to move everyone.
It's like we'll push some
together,
and then
leave the rest,
and we'll leave the rest for now.
And it's like
until
you've got to move the whole system up, and that's how we become bigger, better. But it's the way it is now. It's like few people will come into the system, they'll become what they become, and the system stays down.
Yeah.
It needs to be like, and I don't know what, I'm not a businessman, innit? I don't know what that looks like, but that's just the impression I get at the moment. And I feel like that's something we need to be careful not to run into. Like, people keep saying, who's the next Bolt? That statement in itself, it shows where we're at.
Yeah.
Why are we trying to replicate someone that has come before? It should be about creating new things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, what Bolt done is a big motivation for why I even am sitting here now talking to you. But at the same time, it's like, it needs to be a thing where football has stars in it, but you're never gonna say one person's carrying football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And I feel like with track, it can't. Boxing's the same. It's got a history.
It's got a history.
And people come into that history and they grow more, and the history grows.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But with track, it's like someone becomes a great, and then track doesn't. And I'm just like, I can't get my head around that.
Can you imagine how many people doesn't know Ashraf Powell?
Do you get me?
Like,
I don't get that.
This man has been there.
People know
like,
Jesse Owens, Carl Lewis, Ben Johnson, Bolt. Those are the four that you don't need to know nothing about track. Linford Christie, I'd add.
Yeah.
Those are the four that, like, that 100%, everyone will say, they definitely know that for some reason or another.
Yeah.
But there's so many great people that have come in between that. And it's like, well, Ben Johnson's not great in that. Take him out of it. But do you get what I mean? For the controversy, his name is up.
Yeah.
Because of something negative.
But do you know why? Because he even kept himself relevant, like, past his athletic career.
Doing that stuff based on, this is why I took the drugs. And it's like, whoa, this is not what you do.
There's a clip on YouTube, I swear. If you haven't seen it, like, just type in Ben Johnson 9-3, yeah? You will
I've
laugh.
seen that.
It's one of the best clips I've ever seen, because this man basically said, if he had the conditions of today, the tracks
He'd
of
run
today,
9-3.
the equipment of today, such as spikes, he'll run a 9-3. Literally. And I kind of sat there, and then he went into this whole like these guys ain't outputting the same power that I am, and it's just like
them uncles there
like,
that just need to chill.
This is one big fantasy that you have.
Big fantasy, and someone came to record it. You know
that there, you were a massive figure in like the 80s, I think maybe the early 90s, but you can still be relevant in 2012 because you've made yourself relevant.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get he may be happy with that, but where's the sport after? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, drug scandals are not new as well. They happen in every sport.
Oh.
It's not the first and last time it happened in track.
Happens in every sport.
For every 10 people in a situation, at least 1 or 2 are going to say, I don't want to work hard. I want to do it the shortcut way. That's life.
I can imagine
That's
how
life.
many football teams there is. Not once have we heard.
People failed drug tests in football though.
We don't hear it enough.
And it's a bad thing.
The last one I remember is Ferdinand.
It's a did he? I didn't even know.
No, when he missed, I think he missed the test or something.
See, I didn't even know that.
These guys have wild nights out, so them failing a drugs test doesn't surprise me at all.
These guys are gonna condone, like, you know what? I actually like Tyson Fury now.
But these guys have so much stuff. These guys,
Cricket.
like the footballers, have so much stuff in the media, and it just gets brushed onto the carpet.
They have things that are worse than the scandals in
track
track.
comes in, you fell a sample.
You miss it.
You miss a
something.
test.
You're done. You're done out here. Sponsorship is going down.
And I do feel like the punishment that the people get, great. Get the punishment. I have no problems with that, because if you're racing against me,
isn't it? Is it a year or 2 year ban?
I think it depends. It kind of depends on what it is.
What's this? What we talking about?
For the ban of drugs.
It depends. It can vary from like anything
3
between
months.
like 3 months to like 8 years to like lifetime. Really depends what you do, innit? But like,
and then you can appeal.
Everything happens, yeah. But it's like, I just get so annoyed. Why is this what we want to talk about? Why can't we talk about the good, great stories? Let's build the story towards the Olympics and beyond. Why are we talking about the negative stuff?
You know
it happens
what?
in every sport.
Since after Doha,
It's so annoying.
I've hardly heard anything about Dina. Since after Doha.
This is what I'm saying. And
Like,
what she done
are we
was,
gonna wait till Olympics
like,
now?
what, like 2 years on the
And
trot,
then-
she's been a triple medalist, right?
Yeah, and then a
Let's
week
talk about
before
that.
it, we're gonna go, oh yeah, Olympics coming up, Dina is up there. All right, put a picture up.
This is why
Like,
boxing is so great. There's a build up. Give you opportunity.
long
Yes, there's
build-up.
pay-per-view, but there's a I was gonna swear. There's a build up. There's a build up, yeah? Football, there's a build up, title race.
Yeah.
Everything is a build up. Track, there's no build up. Yeah, tune in to Diamond League 2 weeks time.
I would love to have, like, you'll never know who the 8 finalists are gonna be. Like you'll never know.
Do you remember that documentary in 2012? Can anyone beat Bolt? You must have seen
that. That was one of the best. And
that made me get so excited for the Olympics.
I wish it was still online. Somewhere,
yes. I can't see it online. It was on YouTube years ago, and then someone took it off.
Took it down. Whoever that person is,
evil person, bro.
Put it back on.
Yeah, whoever's got that, put it back on.
Put it back on.
But that documentary was so informative. It was cool. It built anticipation, well, for me anyway. Obviously, I already like track, but that made me want to see the 100 even more.
That was when I started track.
See what I'm saying?
Started track through.
Why isn't like that getting developed this year? Even if it's Channel 4, ITV, BBC, YouTube. They
could easily do that. Like,
easily.
For
someone in America covers this one, someone in Europe covers this one, someone in the UK cover that one.
Off cameras.
Then a production team just...
Tell me there's only one production team in the world, there's bare. Like...
Bro, we could go to a university and be like, yo, we got this project and we want your media department to take it stronghold.
Like, honestly, like I feel like that show, stuff like that, was really good. And I feel like there's none of that no more. And I just don't know why.
The build-up is only ever like, oh, this person used drugs. Is he going to win? This person
the best build-up we've had was 2015, Beijing, with Gatlin versus Bolt.
Yeah.
And though that was a great story to watch, think about the intricate details. It was based on like drugs and stuff, and it was like
so much negativity. There was too much negativity around.
It almost felt like WWE.
The British media, BBC, and a few heads in the British athletics camp, like they just can't help themselves without saying, "Oh yeah, Gatlin's back, but he did all of this."
Yeah.
All right, cool, we get it. We understand. We know. The crowd who don't even really watch athletics know. Like, just give us the story that's here and now.
Let's talk about something else.
That was the
if you didn't want him in the, if you didn't want him in the sport, you shouldn't let him back in.
Right. If you didn't want him in,
I think.
You should have said no. Done. You let him back in. You were one of the people to say, all right, cool. Like, he's here now. Yeah. Just let it run. Just let it run, because you kind of you're diminishing that story that we had by doing all the rest
100%,
of it. Like
100%.
Like and saying that, like, there was a comment that was made almost instantly after Bolt won, like they're still on the track kind of thing. Yeah. Bolt has saved the sport.
I remember that. But look at that. Bolt has saved the sport. A man with that much responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. Like,
when there's middle distance people who are doing amazing things.
400,
field events.
400 records being broken.
So many people who could step into those shoes. Why is there space for one? Ask yourself. Why is there only space for one?
Because everyone only sees.
Doesn't make sense.
Same way, like Alison Felix, it's like, do you guys not realize the amount of stuff?
Has she got more medals than Bolt?
She has more medals than Bolt, but she doesn't get.
And her biggest story was about the whole, like, the pregnancy stuff, and Nike want to drop her, and it's like, why is it the famous stories are negative? Like, it's just
like, that for me is a disrespect to her.
Why didn't you guys want to talk about my 10 medals?
Massively
more.
I've got more medals than this man. I'm not disregarding what he's done, but
put some respect on my name. Birdman voice.
Literally.
Birdman voice, bro.
But that's where the sport is, and until they manage to change that, that's why it's never gonna.
That's why it's gonna
move
be
forward.
It is. And I love track so much, but it's like, it's frustrating, man. Seeing how some things get done, it's frustrating.
You love track so much. I got a question for you. Obviously, worldwide coronavirus. Obviously, it kind of ruined. Well, it did ruin world indoors.
It might ruin Tokyo, isn't it?
If that ruins Tokyo, like, what does that mean for you? Because that's an Olympic opportunity that's now missed for you. Obviously, you still have the years. We have the Europeans to go to, but it's not the same.
Wait, where's the Europeans meant to be held?
Paris.
Not Italy, is it?
No, Paris.
Yeah, because Italy's already like a bit iffy.
But this is the thing, like that is, they're not going to do that for football. Footballers are still going to go out and do whatever they need to do.
Well, if we're cancelling
it. Euro 2020 is a bit. Well, I don't know if that's hearsay.
Yeah, because they've been cancelling a few games for Italy at the moment.
They're not going to cancel anything big in football. They're not going to cancel that. They're going to take every precautionary measure possible to make it happen. Now, for me, I think the best thing that they could have done for World Indoors, logistically it might be the problem. They could have found a venue. And those
tell you what though, it's difficult though, man. It's difficult. You know how long it takes to plan a champs? Like, I don't know the official amount, but I can only imagine it must be quite long, man.
No, I can understand that.
And especially the Olympics, that's 4 years of preparation to move it in like 3 months.
Nah, see, I never said Olympics. I said
no, I hear you.
Like, you have you have everything set up already.
Yeah.
You kind of just need to transfer all of that
somewhere else.
Obviously, there'll be refunds coming back to people.
Man, I don't even know if I've even got the infrastructure to even facilitate them things there.
Oh, a move? No, it's too much. It's too much work. We can't do it. It's a short space of time. It's not going to happen.
With Tokyo, it's a bit mad though, because like, yeah, obviously you've been gearing up. Well, I've been gearing up to this for like last 4 years. Yeah. So, and a lot of people start, it's part of your defining moment in your career. It's a big part of your story.
Some people are retiring at the end of this one.
For this.
Some people are just coming up from this one.
Yes,
so
it's
4 years is a long time to know
tough.
if you're still going to be there.
What's scary is that they're saying it's not going to be postponed or moved. It's just going to be cancelled. So it'll be 8 years without an Olympics.
It's only ever been one that's been cancelled, isn't it?
Has there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Which one?
In the
way back.
Like when it first started.
No one,
oh, was that?
I wasn't born then.
No one in this room was born.
Yeah.
Like,
it is tough. Like for me, I'm trying to just keep a professional head and say, listen, I'm still preparing for the Olympics. Let's see what happens. But if it gets cancelled, I've got European Championships that I need to go and do well in. That's my sort of view. And regardless, even if time goals I might have, improvement goals I may have, they're still the same for me, innit?
Yeah.
So in that sense, I'm like, I still need to get better in 2020. Whether it's at Olympics or not, I need to get better.
I suppose that drive would kind of change though a little bit.
But it's not necessarily the drive, because I think I'm a motivated person anyway. But I think in terms of like opportunities that can come off the back of the Olympics, where it projects your career to if you do well. Yeah. You know what I mean? Part of like, you know, like dreams. Yeah. That part of it is like you can't really replace it. So that would be hard to deal with. But ultimately we are professionals and we've got to keep the shit moving, innit? Yeah. Things happen.
Fingers crossed it doesn't
get cancelled. But I'm hoping it doesn't get cancelled, obviously.
So do I. I want to see.
Well, I just did a shoot the other day with Adidas for the Olympics stuff.
How was that?
It was good. Obviously, the kit is really cool, so I'm excited for everyone to see it. But I was slightly just posing for the picture, smiling. And I was like,
did you take the kit home? Or
no. You can't take it home. But I was posing and I was just like, I hope I get to see this, because if the Olympics gets called off, then we ain't even going to get to see this kit or running it anyway. So that was a bit
They'll postpone
weird.
it for like next year or something.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we going to do? Because there's a lot of money getting put into this, champs. A lot of planning, a lot of training, a lot of everything. So if it gets called off, I do think it will put a bit of a dent within track, short term anyway.
Okay, so going on kit, what do you think of the new Nike Nike spikes? Well, not those spikes, trainers.
Well,
they're coming out with some mad things lately, like
they have. I'll put a disclaimer.
Space shoes, I call them.
Adidas is the best brand. Yeah. Put that out there first. But no. On a serious note, the spikes, the sprint ones, they're interesting. Like they said, it's meant to help them in the last 20 meters of the race or something like that. Yeah. Let's see if it does, innit? First things first. Is
it legal? I
think it will be. I don't think Nike would.
I think they're trying to legalize it. They're gonna find a way to kind of. They might have to like shorten.
Even if they shouldn't have a bit, I think they'll find a way.
They'll be like, so you see like where you can't be on the running track with spikes that are more than 6 mil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They may just make it like something like just underneath. But you know what? I'm weirdly excited by it. At first, I was like, "This ain't fair," and I still think it's not fair to a degree.
Yo, Adidas, we need some kind of backup.
I think naturally Adidas will probably have a response.
Oh yeah, everyone will have a response straight away.
But I do think actually, well, two things. There's an optimistic side of me that says actually, I feel like if there's a spike that could help you run faster times, that could add a new dynamic to track. Yeah. Maybe that's how 958 gets broken. Because up until a certain point, there weren't Mondo tracks. Then there were Mondo tracks. Then there were different surfaces. Then there were different spikes and lighter kit. Yeah. So that changed the trajectory of track. Then it's been like a certain way for a while. Okay, let's change the spikes. That might add a new dynamic to athletics. So it could be positive. And then there's a realistic side of me that says there are people who are getting stressed out and panicking about whether the spike's going to have a disadvantage, even in the middle distance ones as well. My thing is this. If you wasn't fast enough anyway with normal spikes, how much are you going to get with these spikes? First things first. And secondly, you're disregarding like
the
I
work.
think Gemma Riki, is that her name? Gemma Riki?
Yes.
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah.
She ran really well and people were talking about it's a spike, Okay. even if you put those spikes on, you wouldn't break the British record. So put some respect on her name in it. So I just feel like people are running wild of the whole spike conversation, but it's like there's still an element of how much
hard work.
If you look at the percentage, I'm sure it's not eclipsing like 10%.
She's probably, them spikes are probably worth 5% out of the rest that she's actually been on the track throwing up her guts.
So it's like, let's not get excited, overexcited. Like people still have to put hard work in to run these times, innit? And I feel like people are like, yeah, the spikes are gonna make me sick. But if you wasn't good anyway, I don't know how much it's gonna change your dynamic.
That's a good thing for you to say, because especially for the juniors watching, because
like focus on the training, focus on the craft, focus on the real stuff.
Some people be on the verge of getting a new contract with someone,
and then
they think,
I should go to this brand.
Nike's got some bouncy new spikes. Like I'm going to them, you know. Yeah. So those
I think I've got some new spikes out as well, which are really good. Obviously, they haven't got the bouncy stuff on it, but they're like, it's still an innovative spike. Because
it's all technology. The way technology works, everyone.
Adidas have got the answer already. It'll be.
Well, I've seen some prototypes for the
and then the Adi boost at the back.
Yeah, I've seen a prototype on Instagram. I don't know if it's real, but like I saw one like an Adidas one of like the big, you know, the one that Kip Jogi wears. I think they've got like one coming up maybe. So like I said, brands are always going to respond, but this is good because it makes people think outside the box. Yeah. So if it makes another brand, Adidas, propelled to another level because they're like, whoa, we ain't thought about this before, and we've got the resources to make this spike even better. That's great. So I think it could be exciting. Let's just see when the elite guys put the spike on. Let's see, like say for instance, if Coleman puts the spike on and he goes 960, let's wait and see. Or if he goes slower, let's see before we then make a judgment.
My thing is, well, how do we measure that? Because
with
a
Coleman is already like
he could already do those normal spikes anyway.
It'll be more of a thing to the regular guy.
Because
if you look at the elite guys, like
you're already operating at high level.
Running at a high level. So like for yourself, you've run 9.9.
My bad. Not bad.
Yeah, 9.93.
No, windy. I was like, have I?
Listen, it's a 9.
God willing this season.
It's a 9. It's a 9. We're gonna.
God willing.
It's on the paper.
God willing.
No one can take it away from you.
Yeah. Okay, I hear that.
If you go and run a 9.9, it's like, okay, he's done that already.
If I did that and I had new spikes and someone said, oh, it's because of the spikes, I'll be vexed.
But for me,
I've been training.
For me, he's done it already.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, you're right. Yeah, if an average guy can make a massive, okay, I get your point.
Who's run 11.5?
If he now runs 10.9.
10.8.
I get that.
I'd be like, whoa, that's a pretty big improvement.
Yeah,
that's a big improvement. Like, and anyone who knows track knows that kind of.
Yeah,
that's a mad gap to jump forward. Like no matter how good your training is,
small time space. Yeah,
that's sick.
It's a great debate.
11.5 in April and 10.9 in July.
People need to stop being so pessimistic about these type of debates. It's positive. It could be positive.
Yeah,
like you're talking about, it's unfair for the sport and it takes it out of like the sportsmanship. But we need to evolve. That's part of evolving.
I want to know how it's unfair though, because it's not really unfair, because it's not as if to say that only one person
That's what I'm saying.
is gonna get that.
Like most brands are gonna now and you can buy it if you want.
From the moment that was put up, every other brand has gone went
in a lab and said, let's go.
Right, we need to do something.
Facts.
It's gonna bring the athletes greater performances.
Yeah, it's gonna help the brand.
It's gonna give us more promotion. Like,
so
I only see wins from it. Like,
same.
I don't see a negative thing. I think the negative will come if someone breaks the world record. Oh well, they only done it because they had those.
Well, if I was Bolt sitting at home and a man wears these new spikes that are said to help you in the last 20 meters and he goes 9.56, I want to be
I'm putting my spikes back on.
I'd kind of just be like, I don't know. Like for me, I'd kind of be like, nah, it's
Times
not.
have changed.
Like at that point in time, he's sitting on his couch.
True.
He's not gonna call up his coach like,
no,
yeah,
of course not. No.
Like they've taken my record. I need to get back on the track and go and do something.
Gatling is still going.
I think you'd be a bit skeptical. You'd be a little bit skeptical though. You'd be a little bit.
Maybe.
Naturally though. But it shouldn't become jealousy.
What, in the sense of, what if I wore these spikes?
Yeah, maybe you'd be like, what could I have done? And also be like, is it because of the spikes? Like, it's a natural debate, but I think I'm open to having that debate.
If we want to know what you'd have done, what you would have done in those spikes, you should have run the last 20 in Beijing.
True.
That's one way that
I always wonder what he could have ran.
9.55.
You reckon 955?
955. I don't think the time would have been that much faster than what he'd run in Berlin. Yeah. But I think 994, 95. 954, I should say.
When I watched that 58, well, I think his coach did an interview and said that there was a lot of things he did wrong. Obviously, we can't tell because we're just watching. But for me, it looked like a close to perfect race. It did look like...
The start was good as well. Like, that was the first time.
6-2 to 60.
Everyone,
so I don't know how much more you would have got.
What more? So he's basically saying that if these things were corrected, he would have probably got to...
Then if Coleman... last week or 2 weeks ago, if he had come out those blocks quicker, what could that guy have clocked?
No, it's good, man. This is the thing. We need to see these times because...
And there's the other kid as well. There was another guy that's been dropping some quick times this season, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's an American guy. And Baker's doing...
There's Coleman, there's Kemp.
It might be that guy.
Yeah, mate, it's good because I think when you see someone running 6'3", what you do is you challenge what you think limits are. So you say, well, what should my ceiling be? If he can run 6'3", why should I aim so low? Do you know what I mean?
Now we're in a different space now because I think for me when I watch track and field and a 60 more specifically, if I see 6'5", I'm already like, yeah, cool, 6'5". When I start seeing people run 6'4s", then you can't look a bit more. 6'3". And now we're seeing a guy who can, we're basically expecting him to run a 6'3" look easy. Yeah. So we're now in a different stage where it's like, yo, we need to now appreciate the 60s as much as we're appreciating the 100s. And I think I've always said that indoors doesn't get the same amount of love that it does for outdoors.
The only reason why it does it is because I think people are... It's a lot of different mindsets with the 60, but I do feel like people... Obviously, outdoors is where it's at.
Yeah.
Facts. We can't dispute that. But I think a lot of the time, and I used to do it when I was younger, I think people snob off the 60 or like cuss it out because they're not good at it.
Yeah.
Or because they don't have the ability to get up to speed quick enough. They say, don't care about that event, man.
I open up on the last 40.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about that. But, you know, I still feel like challenge yourself, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think when people start being open to the challenge and open to being a bit more vulnerable over the 60, I think, and you see bigger names doing the event, then you say, okay, this is something we need to sort of pay attention to. I think Coleman's done that well enough anyway. Like, him sort of making the 60 relevant again.
No, he's doing the indoors, outdoors, he's on everything.
You see that year that Powell come and said that I'm doing indoors.
Yeah, yo, that was lit.
I was there like, yo, this man's gonna do
43 or 42, bang, or 44, whatever it was.
Cruising.
I was like, yo, man.
Cruising. He's another one. Like, if he didn't cruise...
True.
I would say that would probably been about 37.
How, man?
Yeah, defo.
Has Gatlin never done one? Or Tyson?
Gatlin's done like a 46.
Yeah, you're right.
He's done a 46 indoors.
Because the Americans
like, outdoors, him and Gay have gone through 60 and 6'3" outdoors. So they could.
Yeah, they definitely could.
They could do it. Well, but yeah, no, I think seeing someone like Coleman doing what he's doing, me being a tall sprinter, I look at it and I say, okay, you may not get to 60 and 6'3", but you know, how much can you sort of close that gap over that first 60, basically?
What's the fastest you've gone through 60 in outdoors, if you know?
53.
Okay.
So that was
2018.
That was trials, actually. Well, if you had adjusted the wind, that would have been 53 going through. So yeah, I think if you're gonna run under 10 outdoors, you're looking at 6'5" low and better, I'd say. That's if you're gonna take care of the second half of the race. You kind of wanna be in that ballpark. But indoors, I don't think you need to run 6'5" indoors to be able to go under 10. There's many examples of people who don't necessarily get the quick indoor times and then outdoors
come flying
monstrous. So it just depends on how you're made up. Do you know what I mean?
What are your targets for this year then?
Yeah, okay. I should know my targets off. Okay, yes, my targets. I should know off the top of my head. Targets, number one, I think, is to be more consistent than I was this season. So I was more consistent than 2018. I want to be more consistent than I was in 2019. More 10-0s. Hopefully get under 10 seconds. I think it's something that needs to happen.
Conditions. Get the right conditions.
Because I think I could have done it last season, but in the race where I ran my fastest time of the year, I locked arms with Safa Powell at about like 50 meters in the race. And you want to lock arms with a guy who's 6'3" and wedge, and I'm some skinny guy, yeah. That's going to mess up your rhythm. So I think, yeah, that put me off. And then obviously Charles being the headwind, I think that could have been a sub 10 opportunity as well. So I want to just basically be more consistent so that I have more opportunities available to me to do that. I want to regain the title. Obviously, I think that's just a natural thing.
Two-peat, yeah?
Yeah, to regain that, I think is important. Obviously, qualify for the Olympics and Europeans. And I think once I get to those championships, trying to improve on what I did when I got to that point last year. So I was a semi-finalist, mid-range semi-finalist last year. I need to basically just be pushed further on that ladder, like pushing to the back ends of qualifying high up in those semis and pushing towards finals, basically. Just a natural progression. But and I think I've taken the confidence from last season as well. So I'm a lot more collected and calmer this year. I sort of know the drill a bit more. And there are more opportunities that are going to come this year that are going to be new to me as well. And I want to sort of embrace that and take it in my stride. But ultimately, I want to sort of move on into being in that space of being a world-class sprinter.
Yeah, you already are, but you know.
But for me, I was just
going to say, like, do you not class yourself as a world-class sprinter, or are you looking at the
legendary,
that world-class elite?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Because I think if you're someone who you look at your achievements and you say, yeah, I'm good, that's the end of you, because your ceiling's already here. You're thinking, okay, I've done what I need to do now. And that's why sometimes I don't like to put too much on sub 10 or 9.9.
Yeah.
This word 9.9, because what happens if you run 9.98? Oh, I'm good now. No,
relax.
Because that's how you go backwards. So I'm just like 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Under 10 could be anything. That's going to keep me going. So once that does happen, what's next? Rather than a set number or a set position, I just want to keep going. Because ultimately, when I retire, I do want to hopefully go down as one of the best that did it in my country, if anything. So best that ever did it was Linford. Maybe shortly before that, you're going to put maybe Darren Campbell in that conversation. You're going to put Dwayne in that conversation. You're going to put Christian Malcolm in that conversation of consistent finalists, medalists. We haven't had a medalist since Darren 2004 in the 2. So the sprints, 100 meters is even before that. So it's like, so what I've got to do to sort of be in that realm is a lot. It's championships, consistency. It's you know, taking a rough through the smooth and being able to always get up and go again. Yeah. So that's where my mind is at. So sub 10 is just part of it. Trying to regain titles is just part of it. They're difficult things. I'm not going to say they're easy, but it's just part of the road to sort of trying to create a legacy in athletics, UK athletics, and hopefully world athletics. So.
Yeah, and that's a good way to develop, I guess. Like, that's a good way to look at it as well. So you're
so I've just got to aim high. Put no limits.
Not putting a limit, not putting a limit to yourself. Like, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, even if things I've done already, times I've run already, things I've achieved, like, there's so much room for improvement. There's so many things that I'm doing wrong that I can do better. And that excites me. That's what makes me get up in the morning and come to training, because I'm like, there's so much room for improvement. Like, I've done this already, I can do way more. And that's the things that keep me ticking and like keeps me wanting to get after the fine details and just be amongst the greats. I think once you're top 8, then I can feel like, okay, welcome to the Pop Smoke, like welcome to the party, innit?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I think I'm here. But till that point, I've
got a question for you before we wrap this up. So I believe in the first interview, someone said something about doing more 200s, but I didn't really see that happen. So,
okay.
So I just want to know, like, are we gonna see more 2s, or?
This is the problem, yeah. This is the problem, yeah. You say you want to do 2s, yeah, and then you do a 1. It may not go how you want it to go. You do another 1. It could be better. You do another 1. Then before you know it, you're just doing 1s. You're doing 1s. You're at the trials. You're winning it. Okay, cool. 1s. So, but this is the thing. You have to just do it, innit, rather than talking about it. So this year, my plan is to do at least 2, yeah? Because I have a sort of like a 5-year goal with the 200.
Okay.
So each year, I want to increase the amount I'm doing in the season. And the point will come where the times, hopefully, if I'm good enough at the event, will look similar. Then I can say, what do I want to go to a championships for, the 1 or the 2? And then if I'm really good at the 2, maybe I might just move over completely to the 2. I don't know. But I'm under no illusion that you can't be a great sprinter if you don't do both events.
Yeah.
You can't be a great sprinter if you don't run sub 10 and sub 20, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You can't be a great. All the greats in the competition have done it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They've gone to championships for both.
And they've doubled up on most competitions.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
if I retired and I was a great 100-meter sprinter, don't get me wrong, that would be amazing. And I don't knock the guys who have obviously done it that way. But I think to say great sprinter, not great 100-meter runner, great sprinter, you got to do both events. So my goal is to do.
Add one more in it. Go for the four.
There's people that break the molds with that because I mean, Wade is the only guy to.
He's on 3 of them. He's a really great sprinter.
That has gone sub 10, sub 20,
sub 44,
sub 40. Well, sub 40. Yeah, sub
40. No, sub 44.
Sub 43. 44.
Well, he's about to go 43, or hopefully coming back from injury.
You know, Michael never went sub
10.
He never went below 10-1.
Yeah, I think he went like 10-13 or 10-12 or something like that. So it's like.
But he's still
a great,
regarded as one of the best.
Yeah, so
ever.
it is, and whatever way my journey takes me, I'm open to where I go. If it means the endless is going to be being a great, I'm open to wherever it took me. Even if it took me to a 4, I wouldn't mind, innit? As long as I went down in my sport as a great. Obviously, that's a bit of a stretch, but you get what I'm going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna do 2 this year, and I think like even over the past years when I've done it, I think I've gone like a 20.4, 20.5, like just willy-nilly, just ragging it, not knowing. I don't even know if I want to learn the event. I think I want to have a ignorance with the 2. Because I think if I box myself into the first 50, you got to do this, breathe, and whatever technical stuff people say, I feel like it won't become fun for me. I think I like the allure of the 2 with me because I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Let me just see. I can have like wild goals with it. I don't know where it's gonna take me. I like that right now, and I want to kind of maintain that. So I'm gonna do at least 2 of them this year.
That's nice because it's that just sounds like you went like when you first start the sport and you're just having fun.
And I like how I feel. I genuinely still have that feeling with the 2. I just don't know about it, and I like that. I don't want someone telling me you gotta do this and you gotta do that. Like, nah, I'm not there with that yet. So I'm gonna do 2 this year. I've got a time goal in my head, I won't say, but if I go quicker than that, then next year I'll increase the amount I do. If I go quicker than the time I have for the next year.
I got a time.
If I blow it out the park completely, then hey, you might see me pushing for a 2.
I might go Paddy Power at some point this year. Like, so I want to create a bet. Like,
I want to create one.
I want to create a bet that you guys don't have. Like it's this, and I think he's going to do this.
So we'll see. But if I exceed that goal I have, then next year I may take it a lot more seriously. But you know what? Before I used to say to myself, I want to run the sub 10 first, then go to the 2. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing actually there's different ways to sort of get to Rome. So you know, maybe actually doing some 2s may actually give me more insight with my 1. So it's like I'm in that place where I'm sort of like actually I'm okay to see where this might take me with my 100-meter journey as well. So I just want to be a bit more flexible with it. But 1,000%, I'm doing it this year. Like, I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Cool.
No talking. I'm just gonna do it.
I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna see it come out, and I'm just gonna send you a thumbs up. Like,
yeah. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do it.
I appreciate you coming on the show on an early Sunday morning.
Yeah. No, don't worry. Thanks for having me, man.
You guys out of bed.
You guys are doing a good thing right now. So I think we got to pay more attention to these types of platforms because I think when we have the conversation about athletics, you know, we need to have exposure in every aspect. So, anyway, I've always got time for athletics Productionz.
Also, when are you looking to open up?
Well,
Olympic year. Some people do it early. Some people do it later.
I may come out a bit early. I think I liked last season in the sense of having a bit more time to find my rhythm. But I think with this year, because trials is like June 20th. Yeah. And if you start traditionally in May, there's not really a lot of opportunities to like find your feet. So I feel like I'm still in the place where I need to just take time to get the bicycle rolling. So I may come out a little bit earlier.
Stateside or?
Maybe. I'm still figuring it out right now. But once I get closer to the time, I'll know well, sort of officially open up. But Olympic year, man. We've got to keep our head down, keep focused. And just
times coming up.
I wish you the best of luck. Like I said, thanks for coming on.
No worries.
Really guys, this is Athletics Productionz. Mr. OJIE EDOBURUN.
Boom.
Victor, Panda, DJ Armani. Signing out.
When I'm stepping in, 30 bottles of Zoom till I'm sentimental. I had to